With today's injury report, do you see the Giants going after anyone in particular to fill the immediate holes? No football pun intended as we head towards week 1, or looking to some of the younger guys in the depth chart to step up. I think if they were going to go sign someone to be a corner, because corner is still the biggest hole on this team. Cornerback 2, I think not landing Ross Cockrell really does change like the season. More so, honestly, than having McKinney out the first 8 weeks. And it's not because Cockrell is better than McKinney, just because that cornerback 2 is a hole. And hopefully Ballantyne can grow into it. I would love nothing more. And I actually have a little bit of faith in Ballantyne, but it's just hard to throw him out there and be like, all right, you are a cornerback 2, and then have him next to a rookie nickel corner. So I don't know if we're going to go out and get somebody. Some of the names I saw in the free agency market, Kurt Coleman, who was with the Bills last year, didn't play much. He was with Dave Gettleman in Carolina. He's part of that Super Bowl roster, I believe. Mark McLaurin, my guy, the Mississippi State guy who was kind of that money backer role. The Giants cut him earlier in the offseason. He actually had a fractured foot last year and missed the season. So he could be a guy. And then Antoine Bethea, Justin. How about that? Can we bring Bethea back and play him as a linebacker?
No.
I actually wouldn't be – if they came back and played him in the box as a linebacker, I wouldn't be like ticked off about that, although I'd rather just play McKinney or Crowder.
Yeah, I think while actually we were having our free agency episode, while reflecting
Connolly
on
or Crowder, sorry.
While reflecting on our secondary, while reflecting on our defense, because technically Bethea's contract was for 2 years, I'm like, why not just keep him and play him in the box and he could be a backup safety? Because Bobby, if you really pay attention to our takes on Talking Giants, a question that I have brought up a few times this offseason is, hey, what exactly is our plan at backup safety? Because Xavier McKinney was technically not our backup safety because he was a starter. It was going to be the rotation of Love, Peppers, and McKinney. Well, I guess rotation implies that somebody's going to be on the bench. But anyway, most of the time, McKinney and those three, they were going to be on the field together. So we technically don't have a backup safety, which today, after Bobby and we did some research, and I have a backup safety, but that's it. I only know one on the top of my head, and then we have an idea of some other guys who maybe we would want to play safety, but they were previously cornerbacks.
Yeah, I think Haley's been practicing at corner, so he's not really an option. Chris Williamson, the corner out of Michigan or Minnesota that we drafted in 7th round, I see him moving to safety, and I know after the draft, Gettleman and Joe Judge both referenced practicing him or training him at safety. But at the same time, a lot of the reason I think he should play safety is because he wasn't that good, like as a corner. Like he did a lot of like covering the flats as a nickel corner, which is, you're not flashing a ton of talent doing that. Christian Angulo, who was a guy I like, the guy out of Hampton College. He plays corner, but you could see them moving him back to safety and letting him just be athletic and go up and jump and swap balls. So. Yeah, safety depth is big on this team, so we need Peppers and Love to stay healthy.
Yeah, and I'm with you where I would much rather, if the Giants are going to spend money somewhere in the secondary, or if they're just going to spend money anywhere on the football team right now currently, I would much rather have them go out there and try to get a cornerback too, not just the guy that we snagged up this week from the Cardinals, who's seen 80-something snaps in the last 2 years.
Brian Williams?
Yeah, Brian Williamson.
Just like Brian Williams said.
So I would rather them go out and make a move for cornerback too, rather than bring in a safety. If we're talking about spending money, I wouldn't mind a move that if you're signing a guy for like a veteran minimum deal. But the guy who I think is going to be like, let's just say, the Michael Thomas, the number 3 safety, the guy that's going to be coming in the most this year to either maybe aid a Julian Love, Jabril Peppers, or be that third safety out on the field, largely on passing downs, 2nd and 3rd downs. And that's Montre Hardage. He was on the Miami Dolphins last year. He saw 98 snaps in 2019 after being signed with the Dolphins as an undrafted free agent from Northwestern. Similar to Julian Love, Hardage was a corner in college. He transitioned over to safety in Patrick Graham's scheme. He was only active for the last 4 games of the season. The most snaps that he saw was against the Bengals in Week 16, 51% of the snaps. Largely a player, like I said, he came in on 3rd downs, and I think he's going to have that similar role this year. He largely came in on 3rd downs, lining up as a deep safety, And other plays, he disguised himself in the box, then he pulled out after the snap of the ball, and then there were some plays where he was also just lining up as like an enigma safety just anywhere on the field because Graham likes to have safeties on the field. So that's the name that the guys on the beat have kind of thrown around. But hey, who knows at this point? Who really knows?
Mr. Brownstone, a.k.a. J-Rock, said, what about Alex Tanney with the fast twitch to begin practice at safety?
Good, good point, because we saw the fast twitch muscle fibers with the with the speed ladder the other day. So I'm for that. Big fan.
Honestly, like that guy, every time he's put in a situation, he does it perfectly. 100% completion percentage. What's to say that he wouldn't be a great safety? So get Alex Tanney out there.